Republican Congressman Lance Gooden of Texas, member of the House Judiciary Committee, joins us now. Congressman, thank you very much for being with us. You heard what the president had to say about the blame here and the fact that, he would like to see more money going to this problem, but Republicans are holding it up.
Well, you actually misquoted him. He would like more money to process migrants. He does not want money to solve the problem. We want to send money in the form of security at the border. He wants money in the form of give us more money to process migrants and encourage the rest of the world that our border is open. And if you get here, we will show you a path to whatever city in America you'd like to go to. That's why we have this problem. This policy by this administration is the reason the border is open. It's the reason we see these mass camps of migrants coming across. It's the reason New York is full of migrants and they're buckling. They've got over 100,000 migrants in New York. They're too busy worried about Greg Abbott and accusing him of creating this problem. He's only sent 13,000 migrants, but the other 97,000 migrants that have shown up in the city of New York are because of their sanctuary city policies, which our whole country now, thanks to Joe Biden, has sent the message to the world that we are a sanctuary nation, and this problem is not going away as long as Republicans just sit back and let them do it, which is why you're seeing this stalemate in Congress, why it's going to come to a boiling point in the next 10 days, why the government will shut down, and while Republicans like myself we refuse to negotiate with a president that refuses to secure the border. The border is wide open. The government is already shut down on the border. And so my constituents and constituents like them across this nation are frustrated. They're prepared for a government shutdown if it means at the end of the day we get real security at our border.
All right, give us a sense of the numbers and how that's going to work. How is that going to happen? Because I talked to Byron Donalds about this a while back as well. And he said, we will not sign a CR that doesn't have border security. And you're also very right to point out that when the White House talks about border security, they're talking about more money for processing people.
That's right.
You guys are talking about
securing this border unless they're forced to.
Securing the border, closing the border.
The only lever we have, the only pull we've got in Congress right now is our very slim majority in the House. We have to use that to get something out of this deal whenever it comes to fruition. We're going to start passing appropriations bills this week. I suspect the Senate will send over a continuing resolution. The Senate wants to just continue the spending and the appropriations that were put in place last Christmas. If you recall, last Christmas, Kevin McCarthy said, let's don't pass this bill. But the Senate leadership, along with Republicans who helped them get it across the line, they passed a CR that funded the government through September, which ends this next week. And so now we're in the position of telling the Senate, of telling the White House, we're willing to come to the table, but only if you're willing to secure the border. And that's something that I think we will get at the end of the day. It will be difficult along the way.
History, unfortunately, of just signing these CRs and kicking it down the road for a couple of months, and then you're back exactly where you started, right?
Let
me ask you this. You wrote a letter to Secretary Mayorkas about how many illegal immigrants in this country that his agency has lost track of. The DHS Inspector General found that number to be about 180,000 people that have entered this country. I think about 84,000 of them are children, or maybe that number's on top of this number. What kind of response did you get from the head of the Department of Homeland Security about where these people are?
Well, the same response that I got in a committee hearing, Judiciary, when he came before us a few weeks ago. He denies it. He says the border is secure. He has Democrats on the Hill walking out of the chamber, doing interviews, lying to the American people, saying there's an orderly process. There's no orderly process. We have immigrants that are coming across the border. They're giving fake addresses. They're giving addresses to charities, to phony addresses that they have no intention of ever showing up at. That's why we have lost place of all the immigrants that have come across. We don't know where the children are. This secretary has turned his nose up at Congress. He is not interested in any kind of oversight that we've provided, and he should be impeached, frankly. It's unfortunate that we have not gone down that road just yet, but I believe that Secretary Mayorkas is the absolute worst actor of all the cabinet members, and he's doing the bidding
he's going to have to, at some point level with the American people about the situation that they see clearly before their eyes. I mean, they know that the cartels are running our southern border, right? Because, I mean, they control, this is the biggest business they've ever had. It's bigger than their drug business, is their human trafficking business right now. Isn't that right, sir?
It is right. Democrats know this is a problem. Democrats, some of the reasonable ones, if there's such a thing, have come to me and other Republicans saying, you guys have to do something on the border because our leadership won't. We've got the governor of New York saying that they can't take any more migrants. Democrats are starting to realize what a political problem this is. The mayor of Dallas, Eric Johnson, just today, my State of the Union guest earlier this year, he switched parties. He's now a Republican as of today. He doesn't want anything to do with this party that's running our country into the ground. Americans need to wake up. They need to be aware of what's happening at the border. It will be the single greatest issue in the next election, I believe, which is why Donald Trump will get reelected.
We will see. Thank you very much, Lance Gooden of Texas. Congressman, thank you for being with us today.